Welcome back, everybody. It's Beyond Infinity going up against the Teletubbies on the Radiant side. Beyond Infinity on the Dire. Unfortunately, I'm not certain where DTT are from, but Beyond Infinity, the team from India. And now, moving on into the round of 16. I'm ClouDx, your host for today from AFK Gaming, casting the Manila Major Open Qualifiers for the Southeast Asia region. It's the second qualifier here, with the first qualifier being won by TNC, who've secured their slot in the main regional quals. Tell your friends, share the stream, let them know that Beyond Infinity versus DTT is now live. Darkseer is going to get banned out by Beyond Infinity on the Dire side as the first ban. You've got Lich getting removed by DTT. Now, with the first pick on the board, it's not surprising that we're seeing a Lich ban coming out from DTT. This is clearly one of the strongest heroes in the meta right now. We also got a glimpse of DTT's previous game. They do like running the Wisp and the Chaos Knight. We saw them using that to take down First Departure. They've also run the Earth Spirit when given the opportunity. So maybe we're going to see a different ban phase coming out from Beyond Infinity here. The Beastmaster still in the pool, as is the Night Stalker. And, well, we're actually going to see a Batrider ban, so a different ban coming out here from Beyond Infinity. This does leave in the Beastmaster, the Lone Druid, as well as that Night Stalker, among other heroes. Expecting those three heroes to get picked up in the first phase here by either side. But I'm pretty certain that Beyond Infinity is going to go for the Beastmaster if they can get their hands on it as the first pick.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
So, Beyond Infinity's playstyle has been early game lane domination, which transitions into a strong mid game and a clean finish. We have... Oh, this is... Okay, this is all the more confusing to me now. They've banned out the Night Stalker, but Beyond Infinity opted not to pick up the Beastmaster as their first pick, instead going for the Enchantress. DTT, this is almost as if it was premeditated. They knew that this Enchantress was coming and they're going to insta-pick the Mirana. Now, Mirana, we've actually seen Mirana being run in the one position role versus the off-lane Enchantress on multiple occasions. I don't think this is going to be an off-lane enchant. I am expecting... a support Enchantress to be played here by no chance. But either way, the Mirana does work well against him even in the support role.
Reserve time.
What are we looking at here as their second pick? The Beastmaster does still look too tempting to pass up really for DTT, and I'm really not sure what the fuss is about, but they've got their own playstyle. Maybe they'll go with the Earth Spirit here. Or possibly even a Bounty Hunter. Bounty's actually still in the pool and is actually a really great pickup versus the Enchantress. Sure, you're not going to get the Janara hit off as easily, but with the Bounty Hunter moving into the jungle right from level 1, you can leech some of Enchantress's EXP and prevent her from being a nuisance in the early game, stalling her rotation, scouting her movements, and breaking her smokes. It really is difficult to play as an Enchantress when you're up against a Bounty, and in fact it's difficult to play as any jungle hero when you're up against a Bounty Hunter. But that is of course a double-edged sword if Enchantress chooses to walk around with the dust, dispelling the invisibility on that Bounty Hunter. He's pretty much a free frag up for grabs, assuming that one of the lane heroes rotate in for the kill. But Shadow Demon will be the next pickup, so we're looking at some 6.87 fresh meta here, with the old school disruption into the arrow combo being pulled out again. But this is dangerous. Beyond Infinity now gets their hands on that ever so dangerous dual lane with the Beastmaster and the Enchantress. We saw TNC running an absolutely nightmarish lane with these two heroes. It was Cuckoo and Sam H that played the Enchantress and the Beastmaster respectively on that game. On this occasion, it's going to be Badosai and No Chance running that duo. And yeah, I do think that we're going to see this dual lane at the bottom lane for the most part of this game. DTT, they will respond with a Lone Druid ban, so giving away the Lone Druid in addition to the abundant amount of summons that are already on the field from Beyond Infinity would have been a real mistake, and they've done well to ban it out. While Wisp gets removed by Beyond Infinity, they've done their homework on this team. They've seen them running the Wisp in the past, but that means they aren't expecting a support Mirana here, possibly a Kenji style offlane Mirana that builds into an Arcane Boots come Aghanim Scepter. Actually, Kenji was a support roaming Mirana, not an offlane Mirana, my mistake. For those of you wondering who Kenji is, he's on G7, the other team that made it to the grand finals of the first SEA qualifiers of the Manila Majors. You've got a Wind Ranger getting banned out as the 4th ban from Beyond Infinity, while Spectre gets removed from the pool by the Teletubbies.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, my mistake, guys. I don't know why I keep saying First Departure was the team that went against DTT. First Departure wasn't. I'm so sorry about that, guys. It was Sabun Warrior that lost to DTT. My mistake. But now that that's been solved, let's look at what the 3rd pick is coming out from DTT. They do have... I'm still expecting this to be the roaming support duo with the Mirana and the Shadow Demon. So we're looking for a 1, 2 and a 3 position hero to be picked up from the Radiant side. As for their... Okay, that's going to be an Alchemist 3rd pick. Again, I see a lot of synergy with this Shadow Demon and the Alchemist. You've got... the Concoction Stun that could be thrown onto a disrupted Soul Catcher target. That's Shadow Demon's gonna have a lot of responsibility on his shoulders here to make some plays. And of course, the Alchemist farm rate cannot be ignored if he is going towards the middle lane Beyond Infinity. Whoever's going mid against the Alchemist is gonna have a lot of pressure with the Mirana and the SD rotating in from time to time. So let's see what they choose to go with next. We could well see a Queen of Pain coming out here for Swifty on that middle lane. Alternatively, a Puck wouldn't be too shabby a choice either. But for now, does Beyond Infinity get greedy here? A really greedy way to actually play this, and one that might be successful this game, is if Beyond Infinity picks up the Bounty Hunter now, in addition to that roaming Enchantress support. And then they pick 3 cores that can pretty much solo up and stay alive in their lanes. The Beastmaster already fulfills that requirement. But for the mid and the safe lane, maybe a Slark along with the Queen of Pain wouldn't be bad choices. But DTT could punish that very heavily. All they've got to do in that case is run an offensive tri lane, not rotate their Mirana and their Shadow Demon too much, and they should be able to shut down one lane extremely hard and keep their other 2 lanes pretty much safe. So what are we looking for here as the 3rd pickup? Beyond Infinity is looking at 40 seconds here on their reserve clock, so they are starting to tick down with time. Swifty's hero, they usually leave that for the end. They'll go with the Spirit Breaker for now. So they've expected a lot of rotations coming in from that Mirana and SD, and they'll respond with rotations of their own. So this should be a support Spirit Breaker. We've seen Zerisbug been playing it in the past. We spoke about how they could pick up a roaming Bounty Hunter and get greedy. They're kind of going a similar route, but with the Spirit Breaker. And I still do feel that the best way to deal with this is to run a strong offensive tri lane on the side of DTT. And they should find themselves coming out ahead in that situation.
Reserve time.
"18 seconds on the clock here with the Teletubbies thinking through their 4th pick here. It'll be the Witch Doctor. So that implies that it is going to be a core Mirana. It remains to be seen if that's going to be a 1, 2 or a 3 position Mirana. But this Witch Doctor pickup, it's one of the true tried and tested ways to deal with that Enchantress and her rotations, and also a good way to deal with the Beastmaster in the lane. It really boils down to whether or not Barusai can position his boars further away from him, because if he does get caught with the paralyzing casks, he's almost certainly gonna die with the follow-up in the safe lane. Puck will be the 4th pick, so that's gonna be Swifty's hero revealed already. He's gonna be up against what I still assume to be a mid Alchemist. But this is still a very tricky situation for Beyond Infinity. If memory serves correctly, a level 1 phase shift is not long enough. The duration on it is not long enough to dodge a Sacred Arrow because of the projectile speed of the arrow, which means that the middle lane, he's gonna have a bit of a hard time with Mirana's rotations from time to time. And if he does get caught with the disruption, he is almost certainly going to die with the arrow followed up. But that could all be mitigated if he puts a secondary point into the phase shift. And Swifty is an experienced middle laner and probably will go that route. Ooh, a last pick anti-mage coming out from Beyond Infinity. This is a very, very greedy lineup from them, I have to say. the early game phase, I don't expect them to be getting too much farm on this AM, and this is another very tempting reason for DTT to run an offensive trial in against them, because he's not going to have any support apart from a Beastmaster standing behind him and an occasional rotation from that Enchantress. Slaughter will be the last and final pickup from DTT, which implies that it is going to be a one position Mirana to deal with that Enchantress in the safe lane. So the drafts now rounded up. You've got Beyond Infinity on the Dire, Teletubbies or DTT on the Radiant. For those of you just tuning in, I'm ClouDx from AFK Gaming, and yes, this is going to be a best of one knockout in the round of 16 for the Manila Major SEA Open qualifiers. We'll be jumping into the game in just a bit. Plenty of early game aggression going to be displayed here by Beyond Infinity. They'll have to use the time between the first 10 minutes of the game. I think they're going to have to apply so much pressure that the anti-mage gets left to his own devices. If they can manage to do that, if anti-mage can find a little bit of free farm time on the back of Enchantresses and the Spirit Breakers rotations, Beyond Infinity could be cruising. But with DTT's lineup, they've also got to fear the Alchemist, who will be looking to get space of his own, and DTT, their lanes are looking extremely solid at the moment, so it is going to be a tall order coming out from Beyond Infinity. Let's start with the introductions here with DTT on the Radiant side. Fury is going to be handling that Shadow Demon. You've got Rag, AJ, Lin, De Lala, that is a long name, playing the Mirana. You've got Miguel playing the Alchemist. 55933 hashtag Otwall, I have no clue what that is, on the Slaughter, and Gobas 420 on the Witch Doctor. Meanwhile, on Beyond Infinity side, you've got Zerisbug on the Spirit Breaker, Barasai on the Beastmaster with Swifty on the Puck, No Chance on the Enchantress, and lastly you've got Blizzard on the Anti-Mage. So a little background about Beyond Infinity. They formerly played under the Team Illune's banner before moving on into a proper boot camp house. They've now been boot camping for about 2 or 3 months, I believe, and they've really started to show results. First, they qualified for the ESL Manila main qualifiers. Now they're looking to take another feather in their cap, as they're pretty much charging forward through most of the teams they faced. DTT, though, looks to be a very significant roadblock standing in their way. Let's see if they can actually pull something out here against them, or if DTT will be the end of the road for Beyond Infinity. Looks like Alchemist has reconnected. Beyond Infinity not forcing the resume here. The GLHFs get thrown out, and we should be getting this underway. Alright, the G calls are thrown out and we're good to go. Game is underway. The best of one knockout. One of these two teams, as unfortunate as it is, will be going home. There's the smoke already popped right inside the fountain. So they really want to get out of their base quickly, with Mirana leading the charge. Just like Scrims GL. Okay, so it looks like these two teams know each other a bit. They've played versus each other a bit, and they should have an insight into what the other one is doing. Smoke into the enemy jungle. Well, Beyond Infinity, they're moving towards the bottom rune. This is a good maneuver coming out from DTT. They want to probably get down observers and sentries inside the jungle, discard out rotations from the Enchantress. This is one of the most usual paths that the Enchantress would take to gank towards the middle lane, coming up from here into the middle lane, catching the middle lane Alchemist unawares and finishing the job on him. But Alchemist has actually started with a Poor Man Shield and a Salve, which implies that he might not be mid. In fact, Mirana has opted to pick up Boots of Speed with 2 Clarities. So that's a support Mirana as well? No, this is very confusing for me. It is definitely a core Slaughter. It could be an off-lane Mirana though. That could be an off-lane build coming out. Big clash in the jungle. They're going to start with the charge. Zerisbug moving forward, but the costs now bounce around. Nobody's died just yet, but that could change. Both bounty runes have been picked up by DTT. First blood is about to be scored, but it looks like it'll be Swifty that jumps forward and gets himself the kill. That's Puck scoring first blood. 1-0 on the board, but I think in the overall scheme of things, It's still... Oh, the arrow's gonna fly. It'll be dodged here by Zed's Bug. He could have gone down as a return kill. And now he'll be forced all the way back to the base. What a haphazard way to start this game, but it'll still put DTT in the lead in terms of gold and EXP. But only slightly, about 100 gold lead. Swifty. He's managed to call himself out. The salve now up against this alchemist. He knows that the acid spray spam is going to be very annoying to deal with. Spirit Breaker decides to deny himself off to the ancient camp here. Well, no chance. He's got himself the Hellbear Smasher and is looking to make a play at this bottom lane. They don't have the boar available on bottom side, but this is that dual lane that's ever so dangerous to deal with that we spoke about earlier. So Mirana is in the off lane as predicted. She's going to be farming the jungle time to time with that arrow spam. That's what the 2 clarity potions are for. While Slaughter, he's going to use the smash and they should be able to finish up on that Hellbear Smasher. But this is the creep that No Chance wanted. The Satyr Tormentor has now been picked up and that is arguably the most annoying creep to deal with during the laning phase. Hadouken! Trying to get this kill on the Satyr. They know how much of a nuisance it could be if they don't deal with it right now. And yep, they'll do a good job. DTT have come prepared for this Enchantress in the lane. They've already given away a lot more EXP than they should have. Beyond Infinity giving up 2 neutral creeps. The gold and the EXP for that going to both the Slaughter as well as the Witch Doctor. Meanwhile at top, Mirana's up to level 2. Blizzard, he's got a free farm lane here, so no aggressive tri lane is going to be up against him. So he's okay, he's got some breathing room for himself, but the same can be said for the Alchemist at mid. He's now got 2 points in that acid spray as well, which will allow him to push out this creep wave and secure pretty much every rune. And lo and behold, as luck would have it, he'll find himself a bounty rune in the top river, thus accelerating his farm some more. Swifty's doing well in the CS department, but he's just barely keeping ahead of that Alchemist. Well, at top lane, Mirana, she'll go down. That's a kill secured. Looks like I missed how that one started, but seems like the charge along with the blink forward seems to have done the trick. So Blizzard, he'll find himself some money in the bank as well with the assist goal coming through, while Zerisbug's rotation has been successful so far. Is 1 death now offset by the 1 kill added to his name. And Swifty, he's going to have to call out some more consumables for himself. Here comes the Enchantress attempting a rotation. They're going to start with a charge from Zerisbug as well, but this movement's going to be scouted. Mirana will get high-fived on the way towards the middle lane as Zerisbug spanks him on the butt and charges forward. They're still committing. Enchantress, she's diving in deep. She's actually started tanking the tower herself. Miguel gets hit with the Hadouken, the Purge as well. That should be a dead Alchemist. And the commitment was well worth it. There's going to be a late TP coming out from this Slaughter in the middle lane. While the arrow will fly, it will clip on the Enchantress from long range and Mirana will get a return kill. They're looking for more. Slaughter does have the crush available, will stop Zerisbug in his tracks. He does have the charge available, but the cask will stun him and the charge has been cancelled prematurely. Mirana leaps forward, starts to body block him. Great plays coming out from DTT. They've got the sprint expended and Zerisbug will drop, making it a trade that favors DTT there at the end of it all, with the Enchantress and the Spirit Breaker going down in lieu of the Alchemist.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Back at bot, I'm looking at the Slaughter. He's got himself a good 19 CS and his rotation to mid was a success as well. The scoreline 3-2 in favor of Beyond Infinity. They do have a minor golden EXP lead. Well, the anti-mage, Blizzard, has proven himself to be a more than capable carry on multiple occasions. He should not be given this free reign of the map so far. Miguel, again, gonna take some damage. Enchantress, she's got herself the centaur. There's the charge coming in from base from Zerisbug. They're doing everything in their power to pressure this Alchemist during the laning phase, but Alchemist, he's pushed out the creep wave and managed to get himself back under his tier 1 tower safety. Mirana, she's found herself the arcane boots, and with that arrow spam, she's going to continue to rack up the CS. While at middle lane, Zerisbug, he's still poised and ready to charge in. He does have backup though here for the Alchemist. There's Fury standing behind on his Shadow Demon, waiting for a defensive disruption to be dropped down. They do not have a TP on the Slaughter, but it's only a matter of a couple of seconds for him to go and pick it up from here. While Witch Doctor's holding on to TP scroll of his own. They know that the Alchemist is going to be a very focused target here from Beyond Infinity. They'll start with the Dream Call. There's the double TP coming in, and immediately Beyond Infinity rethinks their decision as they'll back away. More TPs baited out, as Beyond Infinity will not commit to that one. Alchemist continues to farm. He's got himself the Soul Ring. While the Anti-Mage, he's leading the CS charts now at 35 CS on this top lane, with 24 denies up against this Mirana. Speaking of Mirana now, Zeresbug, the cow has set his eyes on the cat and will charge forward, but there's not going to be too much coming off of it. Arrow's going to fly. Zeresbug won't bother dodging it. Get clipped in the back. Mirana jumps forward. The double star falls there, but it's still not enough. Mirana has overstepped her boundaries, and Blizzard will punish that. This cow is just way too tanky to deal with, and Rag AJ Lin is probably pissed off at that one.
Tower is under attack.
Blizzard's already got 2 assists and a kill now had it to his name. Really the ideal and optimum start here for the Anti-Mage. He's actually kept ahead of a Grievel's Greed Alchemist. That's saying a lot about his start. Meanwhile, at bottom lane, Slaughter's got himself the Treads online. Barasai, how's he doing? He's at 6 now. Not too shabby at all. He's at level 6, 6 minutes in, which means he hasn't really been zoned out by this Witch Doctor Slaughter dual lane. The pressure on the mid Alchemist has forced rotations from the Shadow Demon towards the middle lane, allowing Barasai to play his game and pull out ahead. The Primal Rose online, and they're looking to put it to use. Charge coming through, but defensive positions from DTT will allow them to dodge a gank here. While Fury could be caught out here. Zeresbug, he's got the charge in 1 second's time, but refuses to use it. They don't want to commit so deep. In fact, look at the wards coming out from DTT. They want vision inside their jungle, realizing that the Enchantress is probably going to be sitting in there, looking to make rotations. There's stacks already prepped here for the Alchemist to clean up. All over the jungle, in fact. He's going to see a massive burst or a massive surge in his gold gain now, as he's moved in to start clearing them up. Zeresbug, he's in a bit of a pickle here. He's out here by himself. The Crush, the Arrow will all be connected, as it looks like the cow will finally go down, and again the cask cancels his charge. DTT, so far so good for them. While they are trailing in terms of gold and EXP, that's about to change with Miguel clearing up the stacks and hoping for a bounty rune. He'll find it as well. No chance. He's still at level 4. His rotations have not been met with too much success thus far. Blizzard, he's now been left in the dust as far as net worth is concerned. The Alchemist doing his thing. He's pretty much got the armlet online, and now he's become significantly harder to kill. His lack of armor has been offset with that Helm of Iron Will stat boost, and he does get the surge in HP with the armlet toggle. Killing him is indeed going to be a tall order now from Beyond Infinity. They're yet to put that roar to any significant use. They haven't used it at all, in fact. And Zeresbug hopes to change that as he continues to charge bottom. He's probably going to get spotted out by a ward if he commits, and yeah, he changes his mind and backs away. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage, his progress towards the Battle Fury continues, as he has a couple of stacks in the jungle for himself as well, but his farm rate not as close to the Alchemist, at least not until he gets his Battle Fury. But look at this Alch! Now he's got a whole bunch of more gold to clean up in the jungle, with multiple stacks been prepped by the Shadow Demon. That's his catch-up mechanism for ditching the bottom lane. He's going to leech the EXP from these dead neutrals. DTT has had a perfect early game setup here, as they will start transitioning into the mid game with a very farmed Alchemist. No chance, and Barosile looking to make a play at bottom, but again the Hawk's going to be scouted by the Observer. No chance is going to be spotted out as well. The charge comes through and gets cancelled immediately. This Observer though, so much value being brought to the table by DTT. In fact, they're looking for a kill on No Chance. Arrow flies, connects, and that'll be a dead Enchantress with the amp damage thrown as well. Double Starfall seals the deal, with Mirana getting the money for it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Back at top, Blizzard now picking up another component towards that Battle Fury, while Miguel, he's almost got himself the relic online now. 2500 gold in the bank with the armlet and the soul ring. His GPM is going through the roof at this moment. Swifty. He can no longer stand in the face of this alchemist. The best that he can do is continue to farm and push out the waves every now and then, hoping to get his blink dagger online soon, but he's been a non-factor for the most part. He's just got 1-0 and 1 to his name with a decent amount of CS, but he is definitely falling behind. Any farm really fails in comparison to a free farming Greevil's Greed Alchemist, my bad. And Fury will continue to be the good support that he is, as he stacks more Ancients now for his ally. Beastmaster Hawk comes in, but it's just a tad bit too late, as the stacks have already been cleaned up by Miguel. And these should be setting off warning bells for BI. I'm expecting a smoke from them sometime soon, but for now they're committing on to the Shadow Demon. He's gonna get scouted out by this Observer Ward, as Fury should get the defensive disruption. He's turning around, in fact, looking to get offensive. TPs come in. There's the Blink Dagger available in the slaughter. The Moonlight Shadows there. Big crush. Catches out to Swifty. Can no longer jump away to an orb, as Zerisbug looks to be the man in trouble. The arrow flies. Doesn't connect. There's a Centaur there on the front lines, but it's not doing enough, as Swifty, he's gonna dodge a bullet now. No, he isn't. The crush comes through and kills him off as well. 2 quick kills secured by DTT, as Beyond Infinity end up trading 2 and 0 against them. Barasai, though, continues to farm, as he's got his first level of Necronomicons within the first 11 minutes of this game. He now buys himself a TP and realizes that he's gonna have to get active on this map. But again, Enchantress getting scouted out by this ward. No chance. Can't get anything done in this bottom lane. Let's pan back to the Alchemist for a moment. He's farming up the stacked Ancients now, and he's got himself a full relic finished up. The Radiance not too far off in the distance either. Bottom tier 1 tower though will be the trade-off, as DTT will protect their Alchemist as he farms the Ancients. He's even got the double damage rune to help him out further in that department, so once he's cleaned up this Ancient stack, I think he's gonna have that full Radiance completed. Okay, maybe just a little more gold required. But he's doing really well, needless to say. His GPM touching 700 now. While the Anti-Mage, he's finished up his Battle Fury, so this is when the farm rate on Blizzard starts getting out of control as well. But there are no stacks in the jungle for this Anti-Mage to clean up. The Ancients haven't been stacked either. And all the while, Fury is stacking literally everything in the jungle. But here's the smoke that we talked about. Beyond Infinity looking to make a play. Swifty, no chance, and Barosai, with the Hawk providing vision, are looking to get a kill on Miguel here. The Chemical Rage is still online though. They really should not be thinking of committing to this. They won't be able to bring down the Alchemist in time. They know this as well. Miguel, he knows there's a Hawk scouting him out. Now the Chemical Rage is going to wear off. They'll jump in on him. The Roar is there. The Silence to back it up. But he's just too tanky. Defensive Disruption comes through as well. Zerisbug's charge connects on absolutely no one. The Death Ward gets dropped and Zerisbug dies. Followed up by the Beastmaster going down to the Alchemist, making it another 2 for 0 trade in favor of DTT. They were prepared for that one. While Blizzard tries to do his thing at the top lane. With Treads and Battle Fury picked up, he's pressured out this tier 1 tower. And it really does look like it's boiling down to this Anti-Mage. The fate of this game lies in his hands. Can he carry his team to victory up against a stacked Alchemist, who's now got the full Radiance online? Tier 1 at mid. In jeopardy. Missed a kill. In fact, that's going to be the Anti-Mage going down. Slaughter doing work with that Blink Dagger, coupled up with the Mirana Arrow. They find a kill on the Anti-Mage, slowing down his growth rate, while allowing their Alchemist to snowball out of control. Gotta say, DTT are playing some very prepared and calculated Dota here, and it is impressive to watch.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The tier 1 at top looks like it's gonna take a fall just about now, as the Slaughter and the rest of his teammates, barring the Alchemist, will continue to pressure it out. Miguel with a selfie there on the unstable concoction. Well, Zerisbug's got himself the haste rune. His rotations have been met with absolute disaster so far. He's at 1, 5 and 2, and is really not adding any value in these ganks at the moment. But maybe that could change. They've got their eyes set on this bottom lane, while Blizzard, he realizes that the safest place to farm at the moment is the enemy jungle, and will start to clean up camps and apply some pressure to this bottom lane perhaps. Their own jungle's been left wide open though. I'm gonna see a possible smoke here with the Mirana holding on to one. She's building towards the Aghanim Scepter and already has the point booster sitting in a stash. BI. How do they come back from this? Barosai, he's still looking to upgrade those Necronomicons. It's going to be a while before he gets to the Necro 3. But at this point, really, DTT does not... There's no pressure on them. They can slow down the pace of this game. Their Alchemist is going to grow a lot faster than anyone on the side of BI. And their Slaughter will slowly start to become a core. And once Mirana gets that Ags, the magic AoE damage that she's going to bring to the table is going to be absolutely absurd. But at the same time, beyond Infinity, they've got massive team fight control with the Puck and the Beastmaster. In fact, now they're going in on Miguel. But there's a tier 1 tower staring them in the face with a crush coming in from the Slaughter. I've seen this movie before. Swifty makes a run for it. They come in from behind with a roar, but Miguel is just not taking any damage. It looks like Witch Doctor will clean up on the Beastmaster first, while the Disruption will hold no chance in position as Shadow Demon gets himself that kill. Another 2-0 trade. DTT prepped and ready to counter that gank as Beyond Infinity. I'm not sure what they were thinking going in under that tier 1 tower there so aggressively. 11 and 4, 16 minutes in. That graph is slowly but surely taking off into outer space here. 4,000 EXP and about 7,500 net worth in favor of DTT, while Beyond Infinity continues to try and farm on this anti-mage who's got a Battle Fury and a headdress and is looking to finish up that Vlad's, but isn't making the best progress that his team would require him to.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
The top tier 1 drops, and that makes the Dire jungle an unsafe place to be for Beyond Infinity. Not to mention, it's added money into the DTT coffers with a Yasha picked up for this Alchemist. He's also found himself... He's actually got the full Manta style finished up now with... No, he's a recipe away from the Manta. It's an Ether Lens now finished up on Fury. At this point, I think Beyond Infinity are just getting desperate and trying too hard to kill off the Alchemist. Instead, I think their efforts would be better utilized by focusing the other heroes on DTT. Possibly looking for a smoke rotation on this Slaughter, who's also growing out of control bit by bit. Every single head on the side of DTT is worth a lot of money now that they're so far ahead in terms of team net worth. Sure, if the Alchemist dies, it's going to be a massive gold swing back in BI's favor, but at this moment, they just don't have the tools to bring him down. There's no burst damage on the side of BI. They do have a couple of stuns, but if he's under cover of the Chemical Rage, he's also got the evasion from that Radiance, which means that they just cannot bring him down quick enough.
Invisibility.
Witch Doctor, now under cover of the Invis rune. There's also Observer wards placed down inside the enemy jungle, watching everything that Beyond Infinity is up to. Corbus, Sentry ward gets placed down, and that reveals his position as he'll immediately back away. But DTT, they're now under cover of a smoke, looking to make a play of their own. Slaughter has that blink. They've spotted out Swifty, and they're going in on him. They'll get the crush. Arrow will be fired and will connect. Swifty drops under his tier 2 tower. Now the TP rotations are coming. The anti-mage is going to lead the charge. Blizzard, does he blink forward? He's thinking of it, but decides against it for now. Zedis Bug gets hit by the disruption. They don't have any detection here to deal with the Moonlight Shadow, and DTT are once again going to walk all over the car. They'll stun him and leave him for dead to his own illusions. While the Death Ward gets channeled, they'll get that kill on No Chances Enchantress as well. It's a 3-0 in favor of DTT, and again, Beyond Infinity are left clutching at straws while Blizzard resumes his farm. In fact, he's still going to get scouted out here as the crush comes through from Slaughter. Blizzard didn't manage to blink away. The Bash Lords are not on the Slaughter side this time around, as Blizzard will be allowed to blink away. His Manta style is getting closer. He opted to go for the Yasha instead of the Vlad's first. That's a full Glimmer Cape now finished up onto DTT, or rather their Witch Doctor. Alchemist, he's got a Manta, Boots of Travels, Radiance, and another casual 4,000 gold in the bank. So, an Octarine core. Looks like it's all but ready on Miguel. Now we're looking at Roshan, possibly going to be taken down or attempted here by TTT. Remember, they've got oodles of physical damage in synergy with that amp damage, not to mention the Mirana arrow to disable Roshan for a good 5 seconds. They've also got the Aghanim Scepter picked up on Mirana. And in this patch, Roshan now takes additional magic damage. I believe his magic damage resistance is at 50%, as opposed to the earlier 75%. So it is efficient to use spells on him, but TTT, they're on the hunt. The Hawk gonna get used again and will scout out this Slaughter and Mirana on the front lines, while No Chance is in a compromising position. He doesn't have a TP to get away from this, and he's got just 960 HP. As Blizzard resumes farming in the jungle, the Alchemist is picking up his next new toy with 6,000 gold in the bank. I do believe it is going to be the Octarine core for this man. Let's have a look at the Alchemist GPM. There it is. He's hit the golden number, 4 digits. He's at 1000 GPM. DTT are doing everything that they can to create space for him, and he is delivering. That really, I mean, the anti-mage's farm just pales in comparison when you see that he's farming half as effectively as the Alchemist. Anti-mage. He does have his Manta style finished up now, I believe. He picked up the ultimate orb and is just a little gold away from the recipe. Well, they've now picked up a gem on the side of Fury for full and total map control. Has BI picked up any detection? They do have a couple of dusts. One on Zed's Bug and one on the Beastmaster, who's almost finished up his 3rd level of Necronomicons now. So they'll have plenty of detection on the field and tools to do damage. But now they're going to have to fight into an Aegis, because DTT is committing to Roshan, and Beyond Infinity doesn't look like they're in a position to contest. Rosh, he'll drop in a matter of seconds. Miguel, he's got the Octarine core and should be able to hold on to the Aegis as well. No, they're going to leave the Aegis for the Slaughter. This is a little confusing to me, because Alchemist could well have dropped that Quelling Blade and picked it up. He's at 1100 GPM now. This guy is just going ham here. Concoction's being channeled as he's TPing out somewhere. No, he didn't TP. He cancelled the TP and just stuck around at mid. I think he was trying to TP in on the tier 1 at top, but Blizzard made a mess out of that one, as he's now got himself the Vlads pretty much finished up. The split push is real. Blizzard needs to force DTT to make some tough decisions here. But he will not commit to this tier 2 tower, just leaving his illusions for now. He will then blink forward. There's TP's coming back in. Fury, he's prepping for the setup here on this anti-mage. There it is, the disruption with the Soul Catcher. A couple of hits from his own illusions will send him away. One blink and he's down to very low mana. Scan's been used. I believe that is a dire side scan. Unfortunately, there's no real way to tell. Yeah, it was a... No, we have no clue, because both scans seem to be off cooldown. No, sorry, it was a Radiant side scan. But Alchemist now looks like he's going to be buying Aghanim Scepters and dishing them out. So we could see one given to the Witch Doctor, which is probably the ideal candidate. He's bought it, and no, it looks like... Who did he give it to? Did he just consume it for himself, or is it still on the courier? Oh, he actually gave it to the Shadow Demon first, so now he's got 3 purge charges sitting on him. I'm actually surprised. So I guess it's because Gobus has probably started building towards his own Aghanim Scepter, so he decided, you make your own and let me hand one off to the Shadow Demon. Look at that net worth. This guy is a complete beast at the moment. A plate mail though would go a long way in helping him stay alive further on. BI, they've popped a smoke, and again they can't find anything off of this. You've got 4 heroes from DTT grouping up top, while the Alchemist farms his jungle, applies some momentum to the bottom lane, and still stays safe under the security of his tier 2s and tier 3s. BI has yet to take a tier 1 at mid, and the fact that they didn't contest their top tier 2 tower, nor take an objective as mid, is a dead giveaway that they were under cover of a smoke. Rana blinks in, leaps out, but there's the blink in from the Slaughter. He's gone in on Swifty, he gets the crush and a bash off, while the arrow connects on no chance. They'll drop the Death Ward and finish the job on him. Miguel looking to throw the stun, will throw it out on Swifty. He'll be able to dodge it comfortably, but there'll be no self-stuns here from DTT as they'll lay into the tier 3 tower. Barasai is coming in. He does have the level 3 Necronomicons ready, but will they commit? They've fortified for now, but they're waiting for no chance to respawn by the looks of it. But the Raxes are falling. They'll crush Barasai. He'll drop his Necronomicons and he'll go down. He doesn't have a buyback. The Dream Call comes out from the puck, but they're going to try and go in on this. Blizzard can't even finish the job on the Shadow Demon, who turns around and throws a Demonic Purge onto Blizzard. He's trying to make a run for it. He has the amp on him, gets stunned by the concoction and drops. That's his dead body lying on the floor for 60 seconds. He can buy back, but the Raxes are already going to get taken out as DTT takes another 3-0 fight without losing anything, and they'll even find a set of Raxes. Are Beyond Infinity done for here? Is this the end of the road for them? Yes, it is. No chance. Taps out, and they'll be eliminated in the round of 16. A very convincing win here by DTT. Will progress to the round of 8 now. The quarterfinals it is for them. Beyond Infinity, their hopes have been crushed. Well, it's been a good run for them so far, but this is where the journey ends. Invisible Wings pulled off a similar performance in the first qualifier. They made it to the round of 16 as well. But we'll be moving on with the rest of the SEA major qualifiers, folks. The open qualifiers will continue. I'll be jumping into possibly First Departure or RRQ games. I'll have to take a quick look at the brackets to see who's still in and who's been knocked out. Stay with me, folks, and if, of course, you've been enjoying the cast, do hit the follow button on twitch.tv/AFK Gaming Esports. It's been an absolute pleasure casting these matches for you. And for now, congratulations for DTT for moving on to the quarterfinals. We'll be right back, folks. I'll see you in a bit.